A very good evening and good morning to everyone based on the place from where you are joining. We welcome Rama Shinde ma'am again here. Ma'am, welcome. And today's topic is, you're most welcome. So today's topic is very interesting, the connection between pen and brain. So I would like to share something funny with you. One of the parents told me during session we were talking on something, and he said, "Ma'am, all our in all our childhood, we keep working on our handwriting, and write, make your handwriting better. And when we become adults, we work on keyboards. We hardly get time to write things and." One more parent, he shared that my writing, because I'm not habitual of writing nowadays, so even when I write check, my my handwriting changes in different banks, so it becomes a trouble. So yes, for our children, we keep on thinking that okay, if their handwriting is better, then they will score better marks. But is there something more to it? That is very, very fascinating to know, because today's program, this is not only about how to improve handwriting of your child, but understand what is the connection between pen when you write with your hand, what is the connection of that with your brain. So that is very important aspect to understand, so that we clearly understand the connection, we understand what to do, how to do, when to do, everything, all the details about it. So we are very glad that Rama Shinde ma'am is here with us with all her expertise of over more than 20 years. And ma'am, we are honored and privileged to have you here. So,
it's
and yeah, and today is International Day of Peace as well. So it's really very fortunate moment for all of us to be together, because once we understand things in better way, in deeper way, we are able to work on our children, we are able to work on ourselves as parents, and the complete family comes in harmony, in coordination, in better understanding. That is where peace starts. Peace starts with individual, and then with family, and then it goes to society and nation, and then it goes on. So let's pray and hope that today's workshop will be very helpful to you. Ma'am, our first question that we want to ask from you is, what is the connection between pen and brain?
Yeah, absolutely. Very important question, ma'am. And first of all, when you said today is International Peace Day, it's very important to have peace within you, right? And then only you can give a peace of mind to the people around you. And that is what I have learned from Heartfulness. So from my bottom of my heart, great gratitude towards Heartfulness, as well as to the institute where I worked for so many years. So, ma'am, very important question you have asked. And before I answer your question, I wanted to tell you that handwriting is more than a script, ma'am, right? Isn't it? And it is a reflection of our soul. Okay? When we write a curve, a stroke, a line, okay, which reveals glimpses of our inner character. Okay, and our thoughts, our unique way of seeing the world comes on paper. And therefore, you know that in the world, there are handwriting analysts also functioning very well, and they can read you, they can read your mind, they can read your brain. So when you're asking me, how does it boost your brain health, which is very, very important. No doubt it is a very important part of our body, which monitors, right, everything. So handwriting can boost brain in several ways, ma'am. It is contributing to cognitive development, mental well-being, memory enhancement, so many things. We normally don't think in those manner when the child learns to write, alphabet, patterns. Very few parents are aware about such kind of a things. Do you agree with me, Surbhi ma'am?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And yeah, so it's very, very important that the parents need to understand so that they when they are, because I remember my sister has taken a lot of efforts when I was beginning my, learning. I mean to say the primary years, the formative years, and she is the sole responsible for my handwriting and my brain development than my mother. That is what I feel. So every parent should remember this. And the first and the most important thing is that, when you are the connection, when we are talking about handwriting, boost brain health. So it is like enhances your memory retention.
Mm.
So when you're writing by hand, basically what happens is your motor skill, memory, cognition, all takes place. It is a multiple brain regions are functioning and associated with it. You use only the pointer finger and the thumb finger to hold. Some of them hold the pen in a different manner, but then it has a strong connect. It is wired very well, which is invisible. So the studies, there is a lot of research, ma'am. It is like, beyond our understanding and imagination, the people have done the research. And they say that when you write, your memory improves. Your understanding becomes much more better. And this is a kinesthetic activity when the child is forming a letters, helps the brain process, and it retains more deeply, especially when you're taking notes or learning new concepts. So if you really look at it, our old traditional systems also, we always used to take a notes. We used to always used to write. Now the people use the mobile phone and all those things to keep everything. But we really want to take everything back. Isn't it? Yeah. So ma'am.
Yeah.
Secondly, yeah, ma'am, you can say, yeah, you can
No, I
contribute.
was just saying yes, and it's very interesting to know it from you, ma'am, because you have been the head of the one of the best institutes who is, very digitally advanced, and all kinds of digital gadgets in the school, and all the parents and children are also from very affluent families. So it's very interesting to know from you that in schools we are using these digital gadgets and all, but you have researched on this, that children should do that, should write with the hand, and then
Mm. So therefore, in my school also, ma'am, initial years, we used to not, we were introducing the technology to the children, but we used to make them write by their hand. We were never introduced the iPads to them. There was a strong reason behind it. Okay. No doubt the children are going to pick up the technology is very, very important. We are not saying no, but then let us understand the science behind it. So first I said it is like memory retention. Second is like, ma'am, improves your focus and attention, which is very important. Like we keep talking about concentration development, right, in the children. How does it come? The handwriting requires, when you are making the child write, it is like, sustained attention is given. I'm not talking about a copywriting, okay? Copywriting is, sometimes it is monotonous, but when the child is writing creative writing, persuasive writing, or the child is writing the answers on his own, it
thinking
is
something and then writing.
correct. So it is very important. Yeah. And it stimulates your thinking. It stimulates your understanding how, if even if the child is writing an essay, okay, the child is thinking, the thoughts are there in the mind and the brain, and it comes down on paper. So it has a strong connection. So it improves your focus and attention. So it's very, very important skill. Third thing is that, it strengthens your neural connection. So we know that the neural pathways, when the child is born, so many pathways are there. If you don't utilize them, it gets eroded, right? So the act of, like, when you're forming a letter, sentences, or, all basic brain part is like cerebrum and the brain region involved into the motor control, okay? Fine motor skills, all these are developed because of handwriting. Cognitive
I think network connection is lost with ma'am, so I think it will be resumed again. So what she is saying, your memory improves. So you
yeah,
are back, ma'am. So I was just, connecting what you said, because your internet was little low that time.
correct,
So
correct.
the point that you said, that memory is better when you write with your hands. when you type, and I mean, people can experiment, right? You type one page and then try to recollect, and
Correct.
then write with your hand and then try to recollect and see what retains more.
Correct. Absolutely correct. So it strengthens your neural connections. So that is neural pathways. If you want to really enhance them, which is again an invisible part, right? Then it boosts your creativity, which is very again important. Where we give a lot of importance to the creativity. And in tomorrow's world, it is going to give you a big kind of a upliftment if you have a creativity. So boosting your creativity is very, very important. So handwriting stimulates your brain regions, which involves in creativity, including your right hemisphere.
Mm.
This is a scientifically proven. Whatever I'm giving you, ma'am, information is based on the science,
Yes.
which we have read it in our child psychology also, as well as a lot of research papers we have gone through when we want to stick to writing, right? Then another very important thing as a human, we are full of emotions, right? And this improves emotional regulation. You must have seen a great authors, lyric, the people who write songs, right? How does it come? It comes with full of emotions, right? So writing basically gives you an opportunity, and especially the handwritten ones gives you a full of emotions. So
Mm.
it's very, very important. And it has actually your prefrontal cortex, then your emotional center of the brain. These all are connected, and it has a process of emotion as well as thoughts, which effectively improves your mental well-being. So that is very, very important. We want the people to be very expressive, isn't it? We don't like the people who are very dry, who doesn't want to talk, who doesn't want to express, right? So first is the area where we have to develop is the handwriting, make the child write, let them improve, let them take their own time. But then, it is very, very important. And last but not the least, I must say that is a fine motor skill development, which is very, very important. So when the child is starting writing, or, over the period, like school journey is again 12 years of a journey. If you really look at it, right from not 12, it is more than 12 years, 15 years, if you really look at it, right from nursery till grade 12. So it's 15 years of time investment, which we do it. And because of that, the personality is been created. So it will have its own pace, which we have to do it. Okay, you have to give that time. And one very important again, this thing point, it reduces cognitive decline.
Mm.
Mhm. So, like, you must have seen, like nowadays, the Alzheimer is becoming a very popular. I mean to say, rather than saying popular, it is really a dementia, or Alzheimer is
It's
becoming people are suffering. And if you really go and see what kind of a recommendation the doctors give, is that to make the people solve the Sudoku puzzles, or the puzzle solving, writing. So it's very, very important. Why do they tell you? Because it engages, when you are doing that, it engages your brain. Its cognitive decline happens, and it improves your brain plasticity. So
Mm.
that is very, very important for everybody to remember. So you need to have a habit. Even if you want to order a grocery, let us make a list.
Mm.
Okay, if you want to do something, menu, last time also we had spoken about menu, let us write it rather than typing, and take a template, but then let us fill in that. So
Mm.
that will definitely help everybody, every member. I'm not saying only the children have to write, but this is what we want to promote. Everybody needs to write something or the other every day, because for their mental brain boost. Do you agree with me, ma'am?
Completely agree, ma'am. Can't agree more. And one more thing, in Brighter Minds, we suggest children to write down their diaries. Write
Correct.
down what you felt during the session. Write down what you felt in your house. Maybe in the evening, they can write down the entire day. How did they feel? Something different they might have experienced. They might have observed something else. So, what happens, that also makes children more aware towards their own feelings, emotions. They understand more things. Same things, even if adults write diary at night before sleeping, not very big thing, but just few lines. If you
Mhm.
write down at night before sleep, like you rightly mentioned, creativity. Why it becomes? Because you become more aware towards your own self. That is how new creative thoughts come, new things come from your inside. So people can try this. If you kindly permit, ma'am, we can launch a poll so that we can know what people think.
Yes, yes, definitely, ma'am. That will give us an insight and let us introspect. This is what we want, to everybody. So when you're saying that journaling, you're making it happen in the brighter minds, let us do that here by taking a poll.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So are you guys ready? You can, just check if you are ready. You can write down yes if you are ready for the poll.
Yes, they have. They are ready.
Okay.
Somebody has raised the hand. We can take that question a little later. Yeah,
So let's start this.
yeah. So, ma'am, should we read the question for the poll, which is you have given it? Yeah,
Yeah, we can.
yeah.
So is it visible?
Yeah, yeah, it is visible. The first question is visible, and the second also is visible, ma'am. Yeah.
First is, it is a pleasure to revisit and read your own written work. Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Second is, writing has a strong connection with your brain and mind. What do you feel? Yes or no? Is it
Mm-hmm.
visible?
Yes, yes, ma'am, it is visible. And people are voting. I can see the counts going up. Okay, yeah.
So can you read, ma'am? Can you read next one?
Yeah, yeah. The next question is, do you believe handwriting can improve your child's cognitive abilities? That is memory, focus, creativity. So that is our third question. And I can see the percentage going 83 above because we have given the options, ma'am. Strongly agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. And I can see the bar of strongly agree has gone up. So good to know about it. Okay. I'm moving to the question number 4, and our audience, we must appreciate them, ma'am. They are very quick. Have you noticed any differences in your child's learning when they write by hand or by when they versus typing? So again, many of them are saying yes. Some of them have said no. Some of them have not noticed the difference. So here we give them a little small pinch to tell them that yes, you need to observe this. Correct? Yeah. And the number 5 question is, how important do you think handwriting is for your child's academic success? Okay. So definitely all parents want the children to outshine. So everybody's saying very important. Somebody's saying somewhat important. So
Yeah.
good to see, ma'am, the poll results. And we are happy to understand that we have got a like-minded audience, right? Yes. Yeah. Good going, ma'am. Good going. Yeah.
So thank you, everyone, and we really appreciate you were too quick. So
Yes.
thank you so much for participating in this poll. And yes, if you have not noticed yet, maybe you can start noticing. Maybe you can start experimenting on what we are discussing today, and that is the purpose of this session. Just to discuss within our family members, all of you, so that we start doing something. These are only small things. You just need to observe. You don't need to give a lot of time, but with small time and little bit more awareness, you will be able to see this.
Yeah.
So I'm sharing results.
Okay. Yeah.
So Purnima Singh ji is saying, what if the parents don't agree? Yeah, Purnima ji, you can speak on your point. It's interactive session. You are most welcome to speak on this.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can write down what you mean by this.
Hi,
Good
madam.
evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We teachers do understand the importance of writing and the benefits as well. But as now we know the digital world is there, and most of the parents are in IT and others, so they feel that their children are writing too much, means it's not in a use. Even sometimes children question us. What is the use of writing when afterwards we have to type it and all in future? Means any job is not as such where writing is used.
Yeah.
Even when English teachers we teach letter writing, that time also they say, ma'am, WhatsApp is so instant and other social media. So what is the use of writing letters?
Yeah.
So in that case, how to convince them?
Yeah, you are very right, ma'am. And that is my next question to Rama, ma'am, because we could not find anyone better than Rama, ma'am, to answer this because she has headed the school with all these concerns and problems. So, ma'am, give us some comparison about writing with hand and then typing, so that our, parents can also understand and make their children understand why writing is important. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, Rishiji is saying, I do have an answer. Rishiji, would you like to share? If you would like to share, you can just talk about it. And I have asked Rama ma'am, that is our next question to you. Please give us some comparison between
I
writing
will.
and
I will.
Right.
Yeah.
If you give me an opportunity, I would like to speak on this.
yeah, Rishiji, please.
Yeah. So
And
the difference, what I
uh,
understand is, I would like to introduce myself. I'm an HR professional. I have 10 years of experience. My answer to this would be like acting in a film and watching a film.
Mm-hmm.
Like if, writing down is like you are acting in that film and you are 100% involved into that, and typing it is that you're only involved into this. That's the major difference which I understand.
Very true.
Very well said, Rishiji. So we
So
can
what do you want
have
your children to be?
Mm.
Do you want them to watch the film or do you want them to act in that film?
very, very nice comparison. Very nicely said.
Very, very important, ma'am. And Rishiji, I really appreciate the example, the analogy which you are sharing with us. It's very, very important. So, what ma'am also asked us that, Mrs. Singh asked us, like, how to convince. So people need to know the science behind it. Like, when we all are using, like right now we are using the technology. We took the poll on the computer itself, right? But then there is a science behind handwriting versus typing, and lot of research has been taken. Japan, European countries, as well as many countries. Even India also has done a lot of research on that, and which speaks about like engagement of brain areas. So when you are writing, okay, your motor cortex, then your visual cortex, your peripheral cortex, right? These all are with your lobe. It is included, right? All brain parts are included in that. And this is because handwriting is a multi-sensory experience, isn't it? So it is like, your pressure points and everything. So it requires a coordination between the thought, movement, and visual feedback. This is what the science is proving. And typing is a faster, more automatic process. Now, so with Chat GPT, then your, Grammarly and all that, it is taking automatic care. So people are, it tells you, it corrects your spelling and all that. But when you write it, you have to be very, very particular, isn't it? So which involves repetitive muscle movements. No doubt when you're typing, your hands, fingers are moving, but then it is a repetitive and it engages a fewer brain regions. Now, unfortunately, we cannot go and peep inside, but the researchers, if you go to see how they do the research, they make the people wear those kind of a wired things with each cell and each part of the brain, okay? And from that, they have proven that this is what is happening. So this is one, is the engagement of the brain areas. Secondly, ma'am, it is like motor skills and fine motor coordination. So when you're writing, handwriting, it is like, sensory motor development region of the brain takes place. So it is improving coordination and a fine motor control. Whereas when you're typing, it's just a gross motor skill development. Okay, so that is a bigger, so you're only the larger muscle movements get involved in, because it's just a keep pressing things, right? There's no pressure on it. And now to you get such a touch, this thing that you just have to touch. So there's no pressure points, pressed whereas when you're writing it, the emphasis is there, right? Then one more research which I had read about it and had seen and observed also, like memory retention and learning. Mhm. So when you're writing, handwritten ones has a numerous studies where, there is a deeper and a cognitive encoding. Okay. So it is like, it is more full of emotions and long-term memory is there with that. Whereas when you type, you forget it. Okay. It doesn't have that kind of so we have to scroll back or we have to search and then we go back and check that article, right? But if you have written it, you will have much more memory retention and learning will take place. Okay. So that is very important. Similar way, like, so I always feel these all points have to be spoken to with the children. Unfortunately, we don't speak these things with the children. We just tell them, do this without any scientific reasons. Or, children are very curious. They want to know, why should I write? Okay. Then you can give this kind of an example. You can show so many videos, so many information is available. You should prove them, and then only you see the change in the child.
Yeah.
What is, ma'am, like, I feel like creativity and problem solving. When you are writing, okay, your creativity, it like, it sprouts up. Okay. But when you're typing, it's like, it's kind of a linear thinking. That is what the research speaks about it. And then, definitely it is like mindfulness and focus when you are writing by your own handwriting, isn't it? So there are advantages of handwriting. Like we all have grown. We are very fortunate generation, I feel. We have seen a mix of things,
Both.
right? Both, right? Now this generation is going to see a mostly the technology advancement, correct? But we have seen the technical as well as technology advancement as well as non-technology era also. So it has helped us to see, and we were able to grasp it, isn't it? It did not took any, and thanks to, the coaches, the teachers, the entire, the people who are involved into making the teachers learn also. So advantage is that deep cognitive processing happens. When you are writing, it is a deep cognitive processing. So ma'am, you always work with Brighter Mind on the cognitive development. Cognitive excellence is your main core, isn't it? So how it happens? It is with your handwriting. It's not only handwriting, it is like everything you do it with your hands. That's very important. And it improves your reading and writing skills in the children. So these are many advantages when you make your children write rather than typing, and boosting the memory. So I would recommend initial days, you have to keep little bit children away from these gadgets. Okay. Give them this. And once these are developed, then you can give. Ultimately, like entire now corporate offices, IT industry, everybody is working. But their base is what? They have gone through handwritten.
Brain development happens in childhood. No, that's why children need to write.
Yeah. That is what we say. And why I'm saying that everybody needs to, because for the mental health and the development, because a lot of, as we said, emotions, kinesthetic development, cognitive development, then your own introspection happens when you write. So for that reason, it's very important. So I hope, ma'am, these points which I shared is giving a kind of an understanding why typing versus, handwritten work.
Because more regions of the brain are involved, and when you are exercising those particular parts, more cognitive abilities will be developed. So writing is very important. Rightly said, ma'am. Most
video
of
on
us, so maybe I
Hi,
would request you to please put yourself
Suman.
on mute so that
Yeah.
Can we ask the question here?
okay.
Yes.
So what I suggest, sir, uh, can we just do it maybe after this third point? Maybe after this third point, many questions would be answered. If you would like to, accept that.
Yeah, sure. Because my kid also sitting with me, so he curious to ask some question.
Yeah, sure,
So
sure, sure.
Yeah, what he's asking is, you want to ask, you want to say, my kid name is Suhan, and he is third class, 7.5 years. He's telling most of the classes and homework will be the copy of the syllabus and all the things. So most of the time we will write max 1 hour or 1.5 hour per day. Sometimes no, zero, nothing. So we are just mocking that whatever they mentioned. How the brain will knows that it is pressurizing and whatever it is, that what he is asking. What is how the brain knows what I am writing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Can we see you? Can we see you, little one?
Yeah. It's not allowing video post, not post is not supported. Yeah.
Give me a minute.
Okay.
It is, for me, it is showing that it's allowed.
No, it's saying cannot start the video because of post has stopped it.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Check
Yeah.
now.
Yes, it got it now. Say hi.
Hello.
Okay, sir.
So
Say
humble.
hi.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hello. So Surbhi ma'am, would you like to answer or should I
Yeah.
answer? Yeah.
Yeah. So his question is, how would brain know, right?
Yes.
So should I give you one exercise? Shall we do one exercise, all of us together?
Yes.
That brain knows many things, and many a times our bodily function don't, understand that brain knows. And brain knows everything about you, right? Shall we try that? So you can put your videos on. I would request everyone to put your videos on.
Choosing blur this.
Let's do an exercise.
Right.
See what is the role of brain. In everything that we do, brain is involved.
Only we can't see the brain, right?
You can't. You can even see it through EG, through waves, and all that. You know, if you really want to experiment, maybe you are most welcome to Brighter Minds. Online Zoom sessions or in our academy. Maybe we can show you more things. So let's try that. With our right hand, we will fix actions. So number 1 is your hand up. Number 2 is your hand down. 3 up, 4 down, 5 up, 6 down. So this is right hand. Now for left hand, whenever I say 1, you take your hand up. 1. For 2, hand will be in the middle. 3 down. 4 up. 5 straight. 6 down. Okay. So now you remember, right hand 1 up, 2 down, 3 up, 4 down, 5 up, 6 down. And left hand 1 up, 2 middle, 3 down, 4 up, 5 middle, 3 down. Now I will say numbers. You see where should go, what hand should go where. Okay. Let's try this. 1. And my job is to confuse you, okay? And your job is not to get confused, okay? 1, 2. Did you see where are both your hands? Like this you are doing, right? At 2, where should your right hand be? Tell me.
Down.
Down, right? Left should be here. 3, where should be 3? 3, one hand down, other hand up, right? 4
has to be
show me
again.
4. The other hand has to be down, right? And one hand up. 5. Oh, one hand to be straight and one up, right?
Yeah.
6. So let's do it again. So it's a kind of brain exercise as well, and I would request all of you to do it maybe 10 times every day. You can do it and see what changes does it bring you. Okay. So let's try again. I'll tell you number and I'll try to confuse you to the maximum limit because I'm your facilitator this time. So my job is to confuse you and your job is to focus. Okay. All right. 1,
One, right?
2. So in 2, the other hand, right hand has to go down. Left hand is straight. 3. 3. One hand down, other hand up. 4. Right? 5.
Again down.
Correct? 6. Now, if I keep on counting reverse, 6 and then 5. Suppose 5. Where should your hand be? Right? So it's confusing. Is it? Please write down in the chat box if you are actually getting confused where to go.
Yes.
So our brain controls things, even our motor skills, everything, right? So brain knows everything. When you, whatever Rama ma'am is saying, is she is saying based on various researches, various research papers. Yes. So after practice, you can do. Same goes with handwriting, writing with hand. When you start practicing, you will find that your writing also becomes faster. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Correct, ma'am. Practice makes the man perfect, right? Yeah. So we need a practice, and a brain is an invisible part. Okay. Right. You know the size of the brain, right? How much is the size of the brain? This much only. But it controls your all the movements, right? Yeah. So my dear child, your question is very, very, a true question, I must say that, right? And thank you for listening to your question to a parent also.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And ma'am, as parents, we are always concerned how to improve handwriting of our child, when to do that, questions based on that. So please throw some light on that as well, because as parents, we are really concerned about it.
Yeah. So, ma'am, as I said, like, every parent feels, but it's not like that if the handwriting is not that very good, that means there is some problem in the brain. It's not like that. If you really look at it, the doctor's handwriting, right? When they write the prescription, you must have seen that they write in a very, very, different manner sometimes. So it is very difficult for somebody to be, to have a legibility as such, but the chemist understands what the doctor has written it. So when you are asking me, like, when, why, and how to refine your handwriting, correct? This is your question, ma'am. And that is like, again, I would say that whatever efforts you will be taking, it's only going to help your brain power. So when you're doing this, when you want to refine your handwriting, because see, if you when the kindergarten children start writing the patterns and all, our first thing is that we should never pressurize, initial years. The reason is that if you pressurize the child to write at initial years, then it can really, have a adverse effects. So it has to go with the pace, and the child needs to develop the interest in writing. That is something which is very, very important. Now, when at a learning stage, basically, when the children are learning formation of letters and all those things, with God's grace, we really have a beautiful systems in the schools where, the red line, blue line books, red and blue line notebooks are there. Sometimes they make you write on the plain paper sheets also. So a lot of like air writing and all those things are also taken in the schools to develop the children. But when we the children really want to find memory and comprehension. Okay, that's very, very important. Hello, am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, you are audible, ma'am.
Yeah. So, memory and comprehension of the children. When the child is writing, like sir was saying that, many a times it is a copying homework. So rather than copying, handwriting which with the deep thought, deep cognitive processing, as you rightly said, a journaling, making child write on his own, what was the aha moment of the day? How did the day go? What was something which the child wants to remember forever? The child can write it. So these kind of a habit, apart from your academics, will help you refine your thoughts as well as, I mean to say the handwriting quality also, because that time the child is not under pressure of completing the homework or anything. Secondly, many schools nowadays, ma'am, are saying no to cursive writing because when
This
they
is
are
important to understand, ma'am, because at many places we are still following cursive writing.
and I would request all the principals, it has been actually, we are spreading the word that, don't pressurize the children to use the cursive writing, because cursive has a lot of, curves and all those things. And in that, especially when the children are from the convent schools, they pressurize them for this cursive handwriting. No doubt, olden days it was very important and all those things. We also have learned cursive. But now, it's a very popular script which is known as, Marion Richardson's script, that is MR script, okay, which has letters, has a curve. So you can join the letters. So the speed also is maintained very well when the child is writing, okay. And it looks nice, neat handwriting also, rather than, just curves and, in a running handwriting to write where the legibility may be a challenge. So here the Marion Richardson script is very, very important. You can look for it. A lot of workbooks are available of that. A lot of research. This man, Marion Richardson, developed this script and it has become very, very popular. Okay. So I feel when you want to refine it, you please visit to this MR script writing. Most of the schools in India, abroad are following it, which is a very, very popular, and that will definitely refine the children's, handwriting skill, because I always believe it's a skill, correct? Like, writing is a skill, isn't it? And it, again, when you sharpen it, it develops. So it is like, you need to give that kind of a practice, which is very, very important. And regularity in that is very, very important. So I still remember when we were in the school days, we were asked to write the tables. Now we know that very well, like till 9 also the child knows the tables. There's no need to write till 30 the tables. Okay, isn't it? But that regularity, the practice of writing has made us very, very perfect when the numbers come in front of our eyes. So practice regularity is very, very important, and parents should look at this MR script, ma'am. The books are available on the Amazon also, okay? So they can look at it, which will really give a kind of a, boost to the children. Secondly, like, yeah, when you are refining it, it is like, developing a patience and, persistent. Okay. So refining handwriting is a gradual process. It requires a patience. So, and motivation plays a very important, because, the minute you say what a shabby writing, the child gets, damn it. Nobody likes to hear, criticism. As an adult, also you believe, ma'am, that, there is a way to communicate. There is a way to put it across, which is very, very important, because we are dealing with human minds. We are not dealing with machines. So motivation is very important for the child. And this is the way we can refine the handwriting, I believe so. I had seen the changes happening.
So someone is asking, can you please repeat the name of the script, ma'am? So that
it's a Marion Richardson script. It is called MR script. Okay. Yeah. We can write it in the chat box also, ma'am, if it is required.
Do you want me to show a picture of it?
Yeah, ma'am, if it is possible, you can, because that will really help those who are at a, yeah. Yeah. So this is like, they have books, ma'am, which are they're available in series. Okay. And it is like, you can give this practice. So it is Marion Richardson script, which is, guaranteed comprehensive course book for handwriting improvement and speed of writing. So the basic idea is the letter has a tail. So I call it as a tail letters. Okay. And then the children can join it. So they have enough of practice pages are there, which will help the children in a much more longer years.
And the point that you were sharing one day with me, that when, in boards, 10th, 12th and all that, when copy goes for others to check and, teachers are not very aware of cursive writing in, few places, then, it becomes difficult for children. So that is,
Yes, yes, yes. It's very, see, handwriting has to be legible, correct? So that is very important. Like cursive also looks beautiful, but then, spelling errors and all that is there in that, which are, sometimes we don't, are not able to identify. So let make the children, responsible what they write. When I have written I, it should look, what is I, E, I, O, U. So it has to be very, very legible. Correct. And ma'am, somebody is so very important point you said 10 standard board examination papers go, 12 standard board examination papers go across India, right? Especially CBSE, I'm talking about. IB, we do have papers going in different parts of the world. IGCSE also papers go into the different parts of the world. So later on, waking up and making the child, shift to the handwriting, right from the beginning, you can think about it. Yeah.
So if suppose some child is in class 6th or 7th or 8th, they have already been writing cursive. So would you suggest to switch on this particular handwriting skill?
See, if the child has developed a very nice cursive handwriting, okay, which is legible, then I don't recommend it. But if you feel that the child has not developed it, then definitely. And there the child, you show it to the child, let the call come from the child, let him feel what he has. Because, I always have seen when we give the autonomy to the children, when we ask them, okay, they really share their thoughts. They also understand very well. Okay, so let us not treat them as if they don't understand and all the decisions you have to take it. Let us not do that.
Yeah, very, very rightly said, ma'am. And once we make our children understand, because as Punyaji shared, no, children ask why to write. Even to me, when they come to Brighter Mind session, it's a pain area, ma'am. We know everything, but why do they ask us to write? They can take our interview, they have different ideas to know what we know, but why to write. So when we make them understand in very scientific way that, see, this has scientific background, if you write, your cognition develops better, and this is the time when brain development happens. Brighter Minds focuses on overall development of children, their holistic development. So this is important part to share with children. So I guess, ma'am, we can take this question. There is a question by Dheeraj Chabraji. He says, what about Hindi handwriting?
Yeah. So again, I would say Hindi or, Marathi or Telugu writing script, it has more of a curves, correct? Yeah. So, I would say that again, there the practice is required. And initial years, you should give them a lot of pattern exercises to the children. The child's hand should move, okay? And the pincer grip needs to be developed very well. As I said, not to pressurize the child, not to hold the child's hand and make him write, okay? If you really look at it now, new education policy also is emphasizing that rather than writing, first let the child read, okay, listen, speak, and writing comes later on. Okay, so that has to be followed for Hindi. So practice only is going to help and motivate the child, even a simple dot. If you motivate, there's a beautiful story. The name of the book is The Dot. And the teacher, wonderful, to draw anything. Writing, yeah.
Ma'am, I think some part of your voice was lost. Was it lost for everyone or was it lost for me only?
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, now it is audible. So, ma'am,
Okay.
can we? Yeah. So everyone lost your few piece of voice. So can you please repeat it again? Hmm. So actually, Rama ma'am has gone to help few schools in Kolhapur. So that is where she is. Yes, Rama ma'am. Can you please repeat those sentences?
Yeah. So, ma'am, it is basically when the children are writing, okay, initial years, a lot of, the pattern writing has to be given and the pincer grip has to be developed very well. Once the pincer grip is developed well, the children will pick up the script writing very well. But rather than holding the child's hand and making him write, many parents do that. So let us avoid doing that. Okay. Let us create interest in writing. Show him how you are writing. The child will definitely develop the skills, and any script the child will be able to write. Give him a good pencil, good pen. I still remember my hero pen, which my sister had presented. And with that, my handwriting is to come beautiful. And I had won so many handwriting prizes also in the school. So that kind of a thing has to happen.
So we have also shared few exercises for improving handwriting, and I'm sharing YouTube link with you. You can subscribe to this channel. We keep on sharing few techniques, few other things with you, few parenting tips as well. So it's a combination of things for all for parents and for the benefit of children. So you can just subscribe to it and then watch those exercises and make your child do. And I suggest you also do those exercises every day and see what changes it can bring, because brain exercises are important, like exercises for our body are important. Few brain exercises are also important to develop fine motor skills of children. Small activities can be done. We also have created a WhatsApp group of parents. So if you are not if you have not joined it yet, you can join. I am sending this group invite link to you. You can join it, because we can keep sharing things there. If you have some question, you can always ask us. I will share my number and Swaraj sir's number as well. You can connect with us with Brighter Minds Academy, and then we can take few more questions ahead, even if you get few questions later. I'm also sharing our LinkedIn thing, because whenever we share there, you can just repost it and then create this awareness among others as well. Because as we were sharing in last session as well, that good things need to be spread. So yeah, so few exercises are there in that channel. And then most of the exercises are taught in Brighter Mind sessions, and we have Brighter Mind sessions for children, for adults, for teens, for everyone. But through this channel, we are sharing few more things so that you can start doing something. So if you are interested, you can do this. Okay, so Purnima ji is asking one more question, ma'am. That is how to explain about correct letter pattern and legibility for the board students.
Okay. So, ma'am, again, you can refer to the script which we recommended, MR script. If you are following in your school the cursive, then you have to show them that kind of the letter writing pattern to the children, and that way you can correct them. So that is very important. So that is a foundation. When the children are writing the letter formation is very, very a base, right? So that has to be very, very clear. So we should not rush. That's why nowadays early year schools also are not rushing for writing. They make sure that the children have a clear understanding, and then only that can happen. Okay, Purnima ji? Yeah. Yeah, one more.
Yeah, few massaging, and pressing few pressure points, doing some exercises that will help build those muscles stronger. So someone is saying unable to join WhatsApp link. Can you please try and see if it is working now? You can write yes if it is working. Even if one person just checks it, it's fine. Just check if it is working for you. So Manish ji is saying work for me. Yeah, so I think it will work. I have shared all the 3 links: WhatsApp link, YouTube link, where you will find few exercises you can try with your child, and you also try it. Because as adults also, like ma'am mentioned in between, Alzheimer, dementia, if if those things are not very, I mean, it doesn't go very critical with everyone, but you will agree with me that cognitive decline happens with our age, with n number of factors: our lifestyle, how we sleep, what we eat, how what is the quality of our sleep, how much exercise do we do, are we exercising only for body, or are we exercising for our brain and mind too, which area we are working, what is our educational background, n number of factors. Based on that, our cognitive decline happens in adults. So that's why, as Rama ma'am mentioned, I mean, she mentioned in a very brief thing like capsule, but that is a very, very concerned thing nowadays. You know, it is, and it is increasing very rapidly. That is why WHO, World Health Organization, is also suggesting that even adults should go to cognitive training programs, because this is something which will help for your brain, for your mind. So not only for children it is important. Why? Because they are in their takeoff journey. More skills of mind are worked on, they will be more efficient, they will be more productive. So it is the best investment that you can do for your children. So make them do it. You know, in Brighter Minds we are dedicated for, you know, these practices, these exercises. But for adults as well, you should do something. So when you go through these YouTube videos, please exercise with your child. Okay. So Rama ma'am, we can take one more question. We have few minutes in hand. If you kindly permit, we can take it.
Yeah, ma'am, you can take it. Yeah.
How
This is-
can handwriting of higher standards, 9th, 10th, be improved? Good question, because that is already developed.
Yeah. Ma'am, we need to talk. And the child needs to feel, yes, there should be some kind of an, improvement is required in my handwriting. So that is something, we need to discuss with the child. And as I said, like, regular practice, don't give the child to write or copywriting. Rather than that, give him a journal. Okay. In the boarding school also, we used to give it to the children diary writing. And every day the children is to write, and they themselves will find, the change happening in them. Right? When they write it every day before going to the bed, their emotions come down on the paper. They express themselves, and this should be kept in a, I mean to say, not very open. It has to be very, very confidentially kept. Okay. So talk to the 9th and 10th standard students, and I'm sure this will help them a lot. So writing own diary or a journal writing will help. Practice regularity is very, very important. As it is for the 10th standard, they keep on solving the board papers and all those things. So a lot of practice has been taken by the schools, as well as, parents also do take efforts. So please talk to the children. They will definitely, contribute. But if you criticize them, because that is an adolescence age group, if you criticize, if you label it, then there is no U-turn for it.
So they need to actually understand first that they need to do it. And once they are willing, they can do it.
Very true.
So many people are writing unable to join WhatsApp group. Okay. So
share again the link. Share again the link.
Share the link again.
Yeah. Or we can give that number, ma'am.
Yes. So what I can do, I can send you my number.
Yeah. That is better, ma'am, because a lot of good tips are shared, and which will be really helpful to the parents.
I'm also sharing number of Swarajji. So what you can do, you can ping any one of us, and then we will connect you to the group. And if you have any more questions after the session as well, you can also ping that. So 96198666591 is my number, and you can send me message. I'll connect you to the group. Okay, so that is solved now. Okay, so I think more questions were there. I'll just go up.
Yeah.
Can you please post some brain exercises? So you will find it in the YouTube link that I have shared with you. You can subscribe. So almost every day we put something or the other. Okay, so Purnima ji is again asking, sometimes the size of N and H is same, and the stroke of Y, G and the cut sign in T and F is not clear and displays incorrect spellings. Yeah, that is in cursive.
Cursive, it happens. That's why this MR script we are emphasizing. The reason is that only. Okay, the reason is that, ma'am.
Asha ji is sharing something. She is saying, as a student, my handwriting was very good. But as growing and into a profession, it is clear but not that good. Why? So I just spoke about it. As our bodily functions decline, you cannot run that fast. When you were 8, 10, 12, 14, you were running very fast. Now we are not able to run. So that is why these exercises are important as parents in your age. When we grow, above 25, 30 years of age, these exercises become even more important, because your overall health is important, and brain's health is very important. Because now I remember, I know people who cannot remember even things that they used to remember, like names of people, or dates of things. They go to fridge and forget, why have I come here? So all these exercises really help you improve on these things, and they address your cognitive decline. First thing is, they address your cognitive decline, so that should not happen, and then work on your abilities also. So it's important to think not only for your physical health, but also for your brain's health. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Rama ma'am. So our time is up, but would you like to scroll up so to see if we have missed some question?
I'll just see that, ma'am. 10th standard, we have taken this. Somebody is asking, like, how can handwriting in maths be improved? Okay. So definitely the maths, again, I go back, maths is full of numbers, right? So again, when the child is learning to write the numbers, the curves are there, the patterns. So the patterns play a very important role. So early years journey is very important. The foundation age group development is very, very important. Based on that, the further journey takes place. So maths, in maths, basically the number writing, the neatness of solving the sums, geometry, algebra, all those things come up. Correct? So if it is a child is in higher classes, again, give him some exemplary work, show him some good, samples, so that, looking at the samples also, the children get motivated and they try, because everybody has, inner urge to improve. So the children do that. So let us give it.
I have one more point to share. This appreciating efforts, like when my son tried improving handwriting, and I appreciated his efforts, and then in his class, his teacher also appreciated. She said, "You are trying, and your trying is going in the good direction." That also helped him. That also improved motivation in him to improve. So that's my personal story I'm sharing.
Correct, ma'am. Motivation works wonders, okay? Because as we say in our brain, right, there is when somebody speaks good about it, you automatically starts, it drives you. So that is very important. So same thing must have happened with your little master, ma'am. And I hope the people start developing that. Yeah.
So encourage yourself and also your child to work on this. And thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Rama ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Conclude our
Thank you.
session. Happy Peace Day to everyone. May you be peaceful and with your family and harmony maintained. Thank
Have
you.
a peace within you and spread a peace around and have a peace of mind. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Good day. Bye-bye.